Physics problem. I have a cart, it's given a shove up a track, an inclined track, and it goes up the track and comes back down. Measuring the acceleration going up the track, we find it has a value of, in the negative direction, it accelerates that way, negative 0.162 meters per second squared. Going down the track, it has an acceleration of negative 0.113 meters per second. So what's the coefficient of friction and what's the angle? So this is a really fun problem. But think about it like this, right? What if I made a graph of the velocity as a function of time for this cart? So it's going to start off moving in the positive x direction, and then it's going to go in the negative x direction. So it starts off like this with a positive velocity, but it's slowing down. And then it does this. So this slope and that slope are different. That's what's happening here. And so why is that the case? Well, let's just go ahead and look at the cart going up the track. It's going up the track. I'm going to draw a free body diagram for the car going up the track. So here's my car. I have the gravitational force down. I have a normal force like that. And then the cart's moving up the track. So there's a friction in the opposite direction of motion going down the track. So here we have a frictional force. I'll call that Fk for kinetic friction. What would happen if the cart's going down the track? Well, if the cart's going down the track, the normal force is the same, gravitational force is the same, but now the friction force is that way because the cart's moving this way. So that's why we have two different values for the acceleration, and we can use that to find the coefficient of friction and the angle. Okay, let's start off with this diagram right here going up the track. So the first thing after I've drawn my force diagram, the thing that I want to do is to pick my coordinate system. If I have, there's no wrong answer, but there's a bad answer, okay? If you pick your coordinate system such that one axis is in the direction of acceleration, your life is going to be better and easier, or at least easier. Okay, so I know it's accelerating in this direction, so I'm going to pick that as my x direction, and that is my y direction. Now, we've seen this before, but let me see if I can draw a better picture. No, let's draw it in there. So one of the things is that if that's the case, that angle theta and that angle theta are the same. So the angle between the gravitational force and this new inclination is the same. You can kind of check it for yourself, right? Because if my track goes down to horizontal, then the angle between gravity and the normal force would be 0 because it's perpendicular. And as I increase it, that angle would increase too. So with that, I can now write down my Newton's second law for that block. Okay. So let's say in the y direction, F net in the y direction, I have two forces in the y direction. I have the normal force, and then I have part of the gravitational force. So that's just this adjacent side to that right triangle, so I'm going to use cosine theta. So the force is mg, but the y component is going to be cosine theta, mg cosine theta. And the net force is 0. Why? Because the block does not accelerate in the y direction. It stays on that plane. Now in the x direction, I have the frictional force in the negative x direction, Fk. And then I have a component of the gravitational force, which is going to be minus mg. And we're dealing with the opposite side of that triangle right there, so it'd be sine theta. And that's going to be, let's just write that as ma1. A1 is my value right there. I'm actually going to put that as negative ma1, and then I can just call it a1 that. So let's put I put negative right there, and the same thing over there. Let's call those the magnitudes. Okay, let's write our model for friction. So we know that our friction force is equal to the coefficient of kinetic friction times the normal force. And then up here, I can solve for the normal force. N equals mg cosine theta. So if I put that in up here, I get mu k times mg cosine theta. And then if I substitute that in this equation, I get negative mu k mg cosine theta minus mg sine theta equals negative ma1. Now let's just think, first of all, I can do something to make it a little bit nicer. If I divide this side by the mass and I divide that side by the mass, I just get rid of all my masses. So I don't have to worry about that. I can also divide by -1, plus, plus, plus. See, we're just making the world a nicer place. So now I have a1 mu k g cosine theta plus g sine theta. Now, what do I know and what do I not know? I'm going to put a pink arrow over the things I know. I know A1, I know G, I know G. What do I not know? Let's use green. I do not know mu k, I do not know theta, I do not know theta. So there's really two things in this equation I don't know. I don't know theta and I don't know mu k. So you can't solve one equation with two variables. I can solve two equations, two variables. So let's put this equation, I don't want to erase anything. Let's just leave it there, okay? Now let's go to moving down the interval, the incline, to find the second equation. So if I do that, the only thing that changes is this. Now the friction force is this way. Okay, well, let's just fix our equations. That doesn't change, right? But this one does. The only thing that changes here is there's going to be a plus, and this is going to be 2. And then down here, that's the same, that's the same. So the only difference is I get the following. A2 equals negative mu kg. It's negative because it's in the opposite direction. Cosine theta plus g sine theta. Okay, so now I have two equations, two unknowns. How do you solve two equations, two unknowns? Well, let's do a simple trick. Now, you don't need tricks. Tricks are for kids, okay? But they're sometimes tasty, right? And you could do what you would always works. I could solve this from UK, substitute that in down here, and then get an equation with just theta, and then solve for theta, and then go back and solve from UK. But instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is to add these two equations. So I'm going to add the left sides together, I'm going to add the right sides together. If I do that, this side becomes A1 plus A2. And how do you know when to use a trick? Because either you saw someone else do it, or you did it yourself. That's why it's called a trick. Okay. So now if I add this side of the equation to this side, I get mu kg plus negative mu kg. I'm going to write that out. Mu kg minus mu kg. Look at that. And then here I'm going to get g sine theta plus g sine theta, or 2g sine theta. Now, what does this trick do? It got rid of my mu. Now I have A1 plus A2 is 2g sine theta. Can I solve for theta? Yes, I can. So sine theta is going to be A1 plus A2 over 2g. So I'll put it down here. Theta is going to be equal to the inverse sine of A1 plus A2 over 2g. And I can put that in, I'm not going to do it right now. Now, if I could do that and eliminate mu, could I eliminate theta? No, I can't. Wait, how did I get, I'm sorry, I left off my cosine theta up here. Okay. I'm trying to, well, once we know theta, I'm just going to solve for mu k. Okay, I'm not going to do a trick. So let's just solve this one for mu k. So now I get mu k g cosine theta, and then I have equals a1 minus g sine theta. So now I'm going to divide both sides by this. I get mu k equals a1 minus g sine theta over g cosine theta. Let's go ahead. I don't have my calculator here. It's over there. Let's go ahead and calculate this stuff. Okay, so starting with this one right here. So remember, I converted these to positive numbers. Drop, 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 drop. Okay, I have A1 plus A2, so 0.162, enter, 0.113 plus. And now I'm going to divide by 2 and divide by 9.8. And then take the inverse sign, A sine. And I get theta is 0.8 degrees. I am in degrees mode, right? Let's see. Math, how do you do degrees? Polar. I feel dumb. Well, let's just, I can check with Python. But I'm going to assume that's right. Very, very small angle. Okay. Now I can take that angle over here and find mu k. So I'm going to put in A1, which is, so I'm going to use this is use 0.8 for theta. So A1 is 0.162. G is 9.8, enter, 0.8 sine times minus, and then I'm going to divide that by G, 9.8 divided by, and then 0.8 cosine divided by. And I get, whoa, this seems way too small. I get 2.5 times 10 to the negative 3 for my coefficient, which is really small. I think it's not crazy bad because I use these frictionless carts and I push it up a little incline like that and it came back down. So it could be very low, but that seems a little low. This doesn't seem right to me right here. Okay, but if this was a test problem and you showed all these things and you got some weird number down here, and even if you said, I think that's weird, I don't think that I would take off any points if that's not the right answer. I mean, if I made it wrong, right? It's about showing your work. That's the important thing. It's still a fun problem. I like it a lot. Talk to you later. Bye.